So in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix the 3 key issues that I know in my experience almost everybody who struggles to get their lenses in isn't getting right. I'm Martin Oguzie and this is Martin's Eye Tips. Thank you for joining me. I'm a UK based optometrist. I've been in practice now for about 20 years. On this channel, we're all about helping you to see better, see more comfortably and be less anxious about your eyes. So today's video is about fixing these 3 key issues that everybody who's struggling with contact lenses for the first time is almost certainly getting wrong. So let's get going, and before we do that, just want to remind you that you can check the description box below for some of my key resources if you're new to contact lenses. So I want to start today with my peace of mind point for all you new contact lens wearers out there, and that's just to remind you that although right now you might be struggling with getting your lenses in and out and it may seem like you're never going to be able to do it and you may even be thinking about giving up, just want to remind you that contact lenses in many ways is a bit like riding a bike. So when you start out, it can be very difficult. You definitely need to struggle in many ways. But down the line, when you're able to do it and do it successfully, you develop your own style, your own way of getting the lenses in and out safely. But you also tend to look back to the early days and wonder why you struggled in the first place. So it's definitely worth persevering and sticking with it. And before you know it, you'll be able to get your lenses in really quickly, so you can get off to work or doing the things that you need to do in the day, and also being able to get your lenses out very quickly and very efficiently as well. Now, I think the number one issue that I find that new contact lens wearers have with getting their lenses in arises from the fact that they're not creating enough room for the contact lenses. It's important to realize that soft lenses are quite large in size and extend about 1 millimeter over the color part of your eye, over the iris. So they are pretty large lenses. So if you're not creating enough room for the lens, you're going to struggle. Now, one of the key ways to know that you're struggling with not creating enough room for the lens is that if you're having to stop and start getting the lenses in several times, and every time you're finding that when you look back onto your finger, you can see that the lens has flipped backwards on and wrapping back onto your fingers, then that's an indication that it's hitting something, and it's usually hitting the eyelash. So when this happens, you know that you're really struggling with room for the lens to get in. So you need to approach things differently and make sure you're creating enough space, enough room for that contact lens to get in. So the key fix for this is to make sure that you take note, first of all, how you've been taught to get the lenses in. And then often what I find is that where people struggle is that they're not grabbing their eyelashes and getting their eyelashes out the way. Now, when you create room for the lens, and you're usually advised to hold your top eyelid and your bottom eyelid and hold them out the way, what a lot of people do is use a lot of force and really drag their eyelids, and at the same time they're also neglecting to cover up the eyelashes and get the eyelashes out the way. The eyelashes tend to be what cause the problem and what tends to hit your lenses and causes them to flip back onto your fingers. So rather than grabbing your lids and yanking them as hard as possible, what I advise people to do is just gently grab your lashes, get your fingers over your lashes and make sure you've got your lashes out of the way, and then gently open your eyes, allow your eyes to relax, and just use a very little force to help your eyelids to open wide. And when you do that, you'll find you'll be more relaxed, and most importantly, you've got your lashes out the way, so they're not going to be an obstruction to getting that large contact lens in. So this of course could take a little bit of practice, so I'd recommend that you do this without the lens on your finger and just concentrate really on getting the lashes out the way, and rather than using lots of force, just relax your eyes and allow your fingers to help your eyelids to open gently, and that way you'll find that you'll be able to just comfortably get enough room for the lens so that you can get that in first time every single time. Now, the second issue that causes people to struggle to get their lenses in arises from the fact that they fail to use their mirror properly. In the early days when you're starting out with your lenses, it's really important that you use a mirror and use the mirror effectively, because this helps you to build a visual memory of how to get your lenses in. And then before you know it, you won't need the mirror anymore, because you've almost developed this muscle memory or this visual memory that allows you to kind of visualize what's happening, so without you using the mirror, to be able to fix the position of the lens to get the lens centered correctly on your eye. So here's my tip to using the mirror properly and effectively. Now, when you're using the mirror, it's important to get as close as possible. A lot of people tend to stay quite far back, and this is a problem because you don't see where the edges of the lens enter your eye and how close they are to the top and the bottom lid. So if you can get as close as you possibly can to the mirror, that way you can really see a clear profile of the edges of the lens, and that way you can guide the lens in and to navigate your top lid and your bottom lid without it hitting or colliding on any of the edges. So an important method that we teach to do this effectively is to position the contact lens in front of your eye first of all. Make sure that it's nice and straight and centered. Then without moving your hand or without moving your fingers, keep the position of the lens exactly as it is in a straight ahead position, but turn your head so that you can still see everything that's going on in the mirror without your fingers getting in your way. And then get as close as you can to the mirror. That way you'll be able to see all the edges of the lenses as clearly as possible. And once you've mastered this, it makes it so much easier for you to be able to see exactly what's going on with the contact lens. So instead of guessing what's happening, you're able to see all the edges and where they meet on the eye, and you're able to navigate the lens into position. And again, this helps you to build up a very good visual memory of what's going on, and before you know it, you'll be able to do this process without needing a mirror. And the third issue that leads to people struggling to get their lenses in is poor handling of the contact lens. And when I say poor handling, what I mean is how people pick the lenses up, how they move them around from finger to finger, and also how they position the lens on their index finger in order to get it onto the eye. So in order to fix this issue, we need to be able to pick up the lenses and handle lenses in a way that makes it less frustrating for us to be able to do that. And a key way that I teach people to be able to do this is first of all to use your thumb and your index finger and to scoop the contact lens up from the bottom of the contact lens. Once you have the contact lens gently pinched against itself, then you can position it anywhere you want to on your finger. And the best position to position the contact lens is right on the tip of the index finger, just about here. If you have the lens positioned anywhere else, so perhaps a bit further down your finger like this, or in any other position, it's going to lead to you having problems with lining up the contact lenses correctly. So instead of the contact lens sitting nicely on your fingers and positioned ready to come parallel onto the eye, it may be slightly off, and then this may lead to you angling your fingers in a way that causes problems with you getting the lenses in accurately. So it's important, it's really critical that you position the lens in a way so that it is parallel onto the eye and it doesn't come onto your eye and at an angle. If this happens, then you may find you have problems with, for example, the lens folding on itself as you try to insert it in on your eye, or you may just find that the lens is coming in too low or too high onto the eye. Those are the three key fixes that you need to be able to make in order to get your contact lenses in first time, every time. So they are very simple, but you know, when you're starting out with contact lenses, there's often so many different things to remember, and it's often easy to neglect any one of these steps. And in doing that, that can easily cause problems with you getting your lenses in, and can cause people to get frustrated and even cause people to want to give up on trying contact lenses. So just to summarize those three fixes really quickly, it's first of all to get your lashes out the way. It's to get as close as possible to the mirror, and then it's to handle and position your contact lenses as precisely as possible. Now for my question for you today. When it comes to getting your contact lenses in, what's your biggest frustration? So leave a message for me in the comment section below, and I look forward to reading those messages and responding to a few of them as well. Now if you're watching this video and you're thinking about giving up on contact lenses, or you're wondering whether you should start contact lenses for the first time, then check out the video just over here on 7 good reasons why contact lenses might be a good idea. Now I hope to see you in the next video. In the meantime, please think about subscribing to the channel. If you do, hit that notification bell as well. That way you get reminded every time I release a new video. So until the next video, take care.